So I have to do this video really quick because Julian packed up my children and he's leaving me alone in this house until I do it. So we're gonna knock it out real quick and just run, just no cuts, no reruns. So it might get awkward. We're just gonna do it. So what had happened was I have this blog. I have been blogging for just a little bit over a year. And about 6 months ago, I went to Julian and I was like, I would like to take the things from my blog, like the type of stuff that I write on there, and I want to put it in a magazine, like a magazine people could maybe buy. And he's like, oh, babe, that's so cool. I support you in that. But just one thing that you have to do. And I was like, what? And he was like, you have to try. And I was like, I try everything I do, Julian. And he was like, you halfway try, and then you get scared that people aren't going to like it, so you just act like it never happened and act like you don't care about it, and you just kind of hide it. And I was like, that's fair. Maybe not something that I would say to someone that I love to their face, but maybe that is true to an extent, because sometimes I put a lot of time and really pour myself into something, and then I'll post it on Facebook and take it down like an hour later because I just get scared. So the deal was that when the magazine got here, like in print, which it will be here tomorrow, it'll be here Thursday, that I had to sit down and make a video and tell people about the magazine and why they should maybe buy it, because Julian says sometimes videos are more relatable than writing, maybe. So this is about my magazine. It is called Feed My Sheep. It is a Christian women's magazine. And I do care about it a lot. I really do care about it, and I actually really tried to make it good. Normally I would act like it was just something I threw together, so that if you didn't like it, then I'd be like, I just threw it together, but I really tried. The reason I wanted to write this magazine is because I feel like God's Word is living and active, and I love it. And I know that in my life, my story isn't a story where someone came up to me when I was in that dark place and I was without God and I was crying every day. It wasn't a person that came up to me and said, let's go to church, or it wasn't somebody that came to me and told me about Jesus. My story is just about me and a Bible. God just prompted me to get a Bible, and I was, at that time, would have been the last girl in the world you would have thought was on her way to the store to get a Bible that day. But I got it, and whenever I got home and I got those words in, it just started to change me. And that's why still to this day I'm still writing about God's Word. I do believe that they're living and active. He says that in Hebrews 4:12. He says that his words are living and active and sharper than a two-edged sword, and I've seen that in my life. I know that nothing can get as deep as God's Word gets. I know that when I was in that place before I met the Lord, that I sat in chairs at the psychologist's office, and I sat in women's shelters, and I had really well-meaning, amazing friends and family that came to me and gave me really, really good advice, and nothing worked because nothing gets down in there like God's word. His word is living and active, and when it gets inside of you, it's beyond your control. It moves things around and it changes things, and it sheds light where there was dark before, and it gives you truth where you're believing lies before. And his word changed my life. It was just a Bible. It was just his words, just me sitting in my room. There was nothing magical or dramatic. It was just me in my room and his word changing me. And I feel like, for one, I'm just in love with it. I'm in love with his word, and I always want to read it and talk about it, but I just feel this kind of debt to it because I know that there's people that I love a whole bunch that don't really know that. They don't know what the Bible is, and they think that they think the Bible is just dead, or they think it's mumbo jumbo, or that they'll never understand it, or they think that it's dull and lifeless. And it just couldn't be further from the truth, because I couldn't tell you how many times I've read my Bible with tears streaming down my cheeks because I was so excited about what I was reading, or so broken over it, or just so in awe of God. And I just want that for everyone. I feel like there's a lot of things that circulate in our generation through blogs and articles, and it's just a lot of self-help stuff, and I know that stuff can't touch the really, really deep broken places. It's never going to be enough. So that's the heart behind this magazine. There isn't extra in there. There aren't ads throughout, the magazine. It's not busy. It's substance through every page. I tried to pray over every single article that I wrote, and if I didn't feel like it would make a giant impact, I didn't put it in there. So that was just kind of the story behind Feed My Sheep. Like I said, it's a Christian women's magazine. This edition is about 75 pages long. I have 3 contributing writers in it, which I'll talk about them another day too. I'll talk about them now. This video is already long. Cami Dempsey is in it. If you haven't heard of her, she is the top number 1, nobody's above her, of It Works Wraps. She's built a multi-million-dollar business, like her parents bought an island type multi-million-dollar business. So she is going to be, there's a Christian women's business section that she's writing for. And she talks about God-sized dreams for our businesses, and it is phenomenal, just hearing her story. And then a local blogger that some of you might know, Alana Dees. She doesn't even know how good of a writer she is yet, or how much wisdom she has, but she agreed to write for the magazine. And then the last, Jamie Nato, is in it. She is a blogger, an author, a speaker. She does really, really well in the essential oils. I've been following her blog for about 5 years, I guess. And she, some of the hardest things that I've gone through in my life, she went through ahead of me, and it was her blog and her words sometimes that were what got me through. She has just this crazy following, just a bazillion followers on Instagram, and she's very well known, and she's definitely one of my heroes. So for her to be writing in this magazine was kind of a huge deal for me. But she's also writing in the business section. She has a lot of amazing stuff to say about being brave and being brave in business, and what does that have to do with the gospel. But there's a lot of stuff in there, and I feel like it's really good. Like, I'm really proud of it. If you want to get it, the hard copies that people pre-ordered that are coming in Thursday, those are already sold. Like, those are sold. So you'd have to order your own through the link, which I'll put below or above, whatever. And if you could share this video or this link and maybe tell people about it, if you want to support or get it, I would appreciate that. Thanks.